This is Freelance Bible Bundle, 2-in-1 bundle, The Future of Work and Freelance Newbie, written by David Larson and Roselyn James, read by Marcus Mulenga. This is The Future of Work, the ultimate guide to successful freelancing. Discover the proven methods and tips on how to establish yourself as a professional freelancer and attract massive clients. Written by David Larson. Read by Marcus Mulenga. When you think of freelancing, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? You probably think of a writer, novelist, or journalist right offhand. That is primarily because for centuries, the only real job you could have as a freelancer had to do with your mastery of the written word. But this is no longer the case. We're now living in a time that appreciates freelancers in hundreds of different jobs. There are all jobs that have recently begun to see massive growth in their respective fields because more and more people are realizing that they can make far more money working for themselves as freelancers than they could ever do solely from another wing of their previous employer. But it is not as easy as it sounds. You should check first if freelancing is really the type of career that suits you, and if you really have what it takes to be a freelancer. This audiobook will teach you about all of freelancing, the ins and outs of the inside secrets so that you can make a decision in starting your own freelancing career. Once you have decided, you will also learn tips on how to start and establish your own successful career as a freelancer. This audiobook will discuss the following topics: freelancing, 21st century way of making a living, cool benefits and drawbacks, how to get into the freelancing business, where to look for customers in masses, is freelancing really the way to go, and many more. If you're thinking about doing freelance as a career and planning to quit your current job, you have to be really sure that this is something that you want to do. This audiobook will educate you so you can make the right decision. Chapter 1. Freelancing, 21st century way to make a living. When you think of freelancing, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? You probably think of a writer, novelist, or journalist right offhand. That's primarily because for centuries, the only real job you could have as a freelancer had to do with the mastery of the written word. But we are all not stuck back in the 1900s. No, we are in the 21st century, a time that appreciates freelancers in hundreds of different jobs. Sure, you have probably heard of freelance photographers too. You may have even met one or two in your life. But what about freelance software designers, freelance medical billing specialists, or even freelance scientific researchers? There are all jobs that have recently begun to see massive growth in their respective fields because more and more people are realizing that they can make far more money working for themselves as freelancers than they ever could solely from working under the wing of their previous employer. So it sounds pretty good, doesn't it? You work in some field for quite a few years, get a lot of experience in the chosen area of employment, and then gradually make the switch from working a 9-to-5 to becoming your own boss as a freelancer. But is it really as easy as it sounds becoming a freelancer and actually making a living doing work on a freelance basis? We have to keep in mind that there are quite a few freelancers out there who are only doing work part-time. Not because they make a ton of money and only have to work a couple of days per week, but because they actually have had some trouble finding work in the past and need a much more solid career option in order to make sure that they do not find themselves facing bankruptcy. However, such a scenario does not have to happen to you if you are willing to do whatever it takes to become a freelancer. Your career switch may not happen overnight, but eventually you will become a highly successful at what you do. It's a guarantee. Chapter 2. Cool benefits and drawbacks. After a long day at the office, you decide to stop at your local Barnes & Noble bookstore to pick up a copy of your favorite magazine. When you open it to a story that you find fascinating, you look at the author's name and see that his biography says that he is a professional
Sample complete. Ready to continue?